All right. We're all settled in. Let me get situated real quick. I really should have had a cup with me. Okay. All right, let's get started. What's up, everybody? It's your boy Nick here, and we are at the penultimate episode of the Big Brother 27 recap show. That's right, only 2 episodes remain here on YouTube this season, and we are going to cover everything leading up to the reveal of the final 3. I think you recall telling you a couple weeks ago I was sick and I had to postpone a whole week of filming. I guess there was something a little more serious, not too serious, but serious enough to you can hear my voice and eventually hear a cough eventually. But I'm okay right now. Coughing up a lot of mucus, so that's good news because you want to get that out of your system. So, but I'm going to do my best to not cough this whole time because the coughs are quite insane. Except that one time. Okay, so but nevertheless, I'm perfect. I'm well enough to do a show, so and plus this is a big one, so I need to get on this. So let's dive right in, shall we? Oh, I didn't even get it set up. Let me get it set up. There we go. Let me fix my screen as well. Live television, don't you love it? Okay, week 11 of Big Brother 27. This week we have the week 11 recap. We have 2 evictions we have to cover, and then we will have our final 3. If you look at the countdown clock, tomorrow is the Big Brother finale. So, which means we are going to handle the jury scenarios. That's right. After we name the final 3, I'm going to go over my picks on how I think the jury is going to vote this season. And we'll go from there. So, we had just finished that intense double eviction that sent Kelly and Lauren to the jury house, leaving us with the final 5 of Big Brother 27. Morgan and Vince are celebrating, but they also realize that they need to continue this HOH, passing off the HOH key to each other in order to solidify their chances at the final 2 seats. Keanu knows he is a dead man walking if he does not win this HOH, let alone the veto. So, and Ava and Ashley are kind of just going along for the ride. But they're starting to realize that they also need to start winning some competitions too if they want a shot at the final 2 chairs. So, needless to say, this competition is going to be a must win for everyone. So, should be a piece of cake, right? Well, the mastermind doesn't think so. In fact, the mastermind is going to take over this next round of Big Brother before they even get to see Julie on the next eviction. So, the mastermind will be handling the HOH competition, the veto, even the next eviction. So, let's kick things off with the head of household competition. This is a pretty simple, I've seen this one in recent years. You basically have to hold some sort of object, in this case it's the mastermind's face, in the middle with a little sword, whatever. And if you let go of that thing, you're out of the competition. Nevertheless, you can guess who it comes down to, and it's not the girls, but it's the guys. Now, the guys are sitting pretty well, and Keanu is trying some tactics to try to get Vince to drop the stick. Well, did it pay off? Let's find out. Apparently it didn't, because Keanu actually messed himself up and gave Vince the win. So Morgan and Vince are celebrating their achievement on making the final 4. I know it's too early, nominations are even set, but really Vince is going to nominate Morgan? Come on now. But we'll talk about how Morgan can possibly go on the block this week. Meanwhile, Ava and Ashley know that they are in trouble. One of them is going to go on the block, if not both of them, but they're pretty certain that Keanu is going to be sitting on the block too. But nevertheless, one of them will have to sit on the block next to Keanu, and the veto is becoming more and more important than ever. And Keanu knows for sure, because if he does not win this next veto, it is a wrap for him. And amongst all this, Vince is still stressed and crying. Just a whirlwind of emotions. I'm pretty sure I've said this every week, but I have to include this. Okay, so this is going to be our last alliance update, ladies and gentlemen, because there is only 5 people left. I don't think there's any alliances except for one, and that is the judges. Yes, the judges is still holding tactic. It's still intact. Morgan is for sure riding with Vince, but would love to keep Ashley in the back corner. So, and this is looking good in terms of jury votes, because if one of these 3 make it to the end, if both of them are sitting in final 2, they've already got at least 2 of the judges' votes. So, and now that Lauren has left, Vince's final 2 with her is done. Now, Keanu and Vince, I don't know what's going on with their loyalty. Keanu still thinks this final 2 exists, but Vince has completely ditched him. But Keanu is still in the house, so I can't take it off the thing yet. And this is the only final 2 that is still intact, is Morgan and Vince. Okay, time for nominations. The first round of nominations this week. The nominations pre-veto are Ava Pearl and Keanu. I'm not surprised Keanu's on the block, but Ava, well, Morgan, knowing Morgan, she's going to do everything in her power to make sure Ashley stays safe. Since Morgan's not aligned with Ava, it was pretty clear she was going on the block. Now, keep in mind the mastermind is still running the house right now. In fact, this was a unique nomination ceremony. Yes, those are voodoo dolls you see. And Vince had to put 2 voodoo dolls on the chopping block in the middle. This is like a satanic sacrificial vibe going on right now. But anyway, so Morgan and Vince know that the veto needs to be on their side in order for their number 1 target, Keanu, to go home. And Keanu knows that if this veto is not his, it is done ties. He came all this way, and for him to lose the veto at this point would be detrimental. Now, we have a very unique situation right here. Ashley is not on the block. But now here's the thing, if one of those 2 come off the block, Ashley would have to go up as a replacement nominee. But if Ashley wins the power of veto, she has the power to not only take one of the nominees off the block, but by default, Vince would have to put Morgan on the block, and that would give the 2 voters something to think about going into the next eviction. And Ava Pearl, she is just hoping she can get a win. She's made it to Final 5, only 1 HOH win that was handed to her, mind you. So they keep talking about wanting to build a resume. Well, this is the moment. Okay, power veto competition, and it is the return of the tiny veto. This is becoming a Big Brother classic. We've seen it since Big Brother All-Stars in 2020 and has been a part of the competitions every season since. So the contestants had to build a little puzzle that had the mastermind's son, the mastermind son's face posted. First person to put all their pieces together without it falling over was the winner. This is a must-win veto for the 5 remaining house guests. So who takes the win? It's Morgan. And once again, I didn't even have to fix this. I just literally copied and paste. If I'm correct, this is number 4 that she's won in a row, or not in a row because Keanu won the last veto, but still 4 vetoes total with 1 more veto left to go this season. So Morgan and Vince once again are celebrating their win by having long, substantial hugs. Yeah, they're still doing that. As finale night looms, I'm curious to see if Vince's girlfriend's even going to be in the audience. And Keanu, well, he knows time is running out. He knows that he needs to either draw up some sympathy with Morgan, try to convince her to put Ashley up on the block, or he has to just go scouring for votes. So obviously Morgan's not going to use a veto because why? Why would she have to at this point? So these are the final nominations. And hold on. Yeah, so these are the final nominations. And this was my exact reaction when I found out that the mastermind said, okay, now the nominations are in place. Let's have the eviction. Yeah, now Ava and Keanu only have 1 hour to plead their case before it is time for the eviction. So after an hour of convincing, pleading, begging, it's now time for the sacrifice. Ava and Keanu is about to one of them is about to sacrifice their life in the game, just a few days short of the finale. And yes, this is for sure a sacrifice, but most importantly, these votes are going to be cast in person. Never been done in Big Brother before. So this is a pretty big moment. This is a pretty big moment. But anyway, let's see how the votes fell. Only 2 people are voting this week. Morgan voted for Keanu. Ashley voted for Keanu. Pains me to have to do this, but unfortunately, Keanu's luck ran out, and he is now the 5th member of the jury. Keanu has been evicted from the Big Brother house, so let's make it official. And there you go. His picture is in black and white. With only 4 remaining. Now let's get Keanu's picture up on the jury. There you go. 2 more spots need to be filled before we crown the winner of Big Brother. Okay. But I think I forgot to change that number. I'm sorry. That's supposed to be 13. There is no time to celebrate being in the Final Four because it is time for the next head of household competition as they go into the crime lab, the Forensic Scope. So the girls are competing in the head of household competition because Vince can't compete. And this is a crucial one because head of household is not the only thing on the line. Whoever wins this head of household will punch their ticket in to the finale, and they will get to compete in the final head of household competition. Now, real quick, let me go back to the picture. The 3 girls are in the dice, and there's like pictures of evidence on each side. They have to search for a specific picture, but in doing so, they have to move their dice around and land back on the platform with the correct evidence on top. So 3 spots are only 3 spots are available for finale night. Who's going to claim the first spot? Oh, surprise, surprise. It is Morgan. Well, I'm not surprised, but let's go ahead and put Morgan's picture up. She has claimed the first spot in the finale. Congratulations. Again, there's no time to celebrate. It is time for the next nominations. Not to mention, this is the very final nomination ceremony of the season. And even though it is the final one, it don't even matter really because it all comes down to the veto this week. Nevertheless, we have to do it officially. The nominations pre-veto are Ashley and Ava. Clearly, we're not surprised. We knew this was going to happen. there's no way for Vince to go up on the block. However, because it all depends on the veto this week, Vince is not out of the woods just yet. It is basically 2-on-2. If Morgan and Vince hold on to the power of veto, that means Vince is going to cast the deciding vote this week, the one vote for eviction. If Ashley or Ava win the veto, then whoever wins takes themselves off the block. Vince goes on the block, and that girl gets to cast the one vote this week. And the house guests have been preparing for it. It's the Days and Events competition where they had to put a series of events in order from chronologically. So we've seen Morgan and Vince studying quite a bit. I don't know how well the girls studied, but it all comes down to this. The final power of veto is up for grabs. Who is going to win that all-important veto? Oh, what a surprise. It's Morgan. Oh, I didn't. Okay. Well, since Morgan and Vince won the veto or have the veto on their side, it's pretty clear Morgan is not going to put Vince up on the block. I forgot to fix those. Morgan does not use the veto. Morgan does not use the veto, so that means she is locking in the nominations, and that means Vince has claimed the second spot. Going into the penultimate eviction of the season. When I say penultimate, I mean the one before the last one. So here we go. Ashley versus Ava are about to face off. One of them is about to claim the final spot in the finale. So both of the girls make their final pleas, and now Vince is the only one casting a vote in this round. Whoever he moves his picture to is the one he is voting to evict. So with the push of my finger, hold on. With the push of the button, I am going to show you who he voted for. In 3, 2, 1. And there you have it. Miss Ava Pearl has been evicted from the Big Brother house. Now let's make it official. Dang it, I pushed the freaking button. I'm so happy with pushing buttons. And there you have it, the final 3. Let's send Ava Pearl over to jury. And there you have it, folks. There's only room for one more juror before we crown the winner of Big Brother. And now Ashley gets to take that final seat for finale night. Okay, well, there you have it. The final 3 is named. We're going to see one of those 3. One of these 3 is about to win $750,000. One person's going to win $75,000. One person goes off to the jury with nothing. And it's all going to happen Sunday night. Now that the final 3 is named, let's go over the jury scenarios. Normally, I would have done a countdown show to the finale, but there is just not enough time to get that ready to go. So I apologize for that, because otherwise we would have done the jury scenarios and the player reevaluations during the countdown show. But unfortunately, I cannot do that. So we're going to do the jury scenarios now, and on the finale of the Big Brother Recap Show, we're going to talk about the player reevaluations. Okay, so here's the first scenario. We get Morgan and Vince in the final 2. Here's how I think the votes are going to fall. Rachel will vote for Morgan because unless she might have a change of heart for Vince, I don't know, but she and Vince didn't really get along in the house. Will is going to vote for Morgan, obviously. Oh, well, Rachel should vote for Morgan because she's part of the judges. Will is going to vote for Morgan because she is part of the judges. And mind you, Vince was just a ride along for the judges. It was Rachel, Will, Morgan, and Ashley that solidified the judges, but Morgan brought in Vince. So Kelly is going to vote for Morgan because she is so bitter against Vince. There's point of no return. Now, Lauren, I think, might actually vote for Vince. Despite all that, I think she will still vote for Vince. Unless she wants to award someone who played the best game. then she'll vote for Morgan. But I really think Lauren will be the only vote for Vince. Keanu's going to vote for Morgan. Same scenario with Kelly. You know, you did that boy dirty. Morgan deserves to win. Ava is going to vote for Morgan. Same spiel. He burned Kelly's vote, Keanu's vote, Ava's vote. Ashley will vote for Morgan because she was closer with Morgan than she was with Vince, especially since week 1. And that's the funny thing too, is Vince nominated Ashley week 1, and now they're sitting in final 3 together. That's pretty wild. So Morgan never put Ashley on the block until the very end when she had no other choice, really. So if it's Morgan versus Vince, Morgan is going to win undeniably. But it might be a 6-1 vote, or it could be a unanimous vote, depending on what Lauren decides. But it's not going to really matter because Morgan will still win over Vince. Next, we have Morgan and Ashley. Now, this one's going to be a little close. Rachel's going to vote for Ashley because that's her girl. They've been girly girls since Amy was in the house. Will is going to vote for Ashley just because Will is closer to Ashley. And I feel like Will would be one of the people that is very much about representation. And representation is very important these days. So if they want to continue that tradition, then Will vote for Ashley. But also, too, all that aside, I always saw Will hanging out with Ashley more than Morgan. So, I mean, it makes sense. Kelly, I think, will vote for Morgan strategically on gameplay. And this is the scenario where it is going to come down to a smart vote, meaning it's going to come down to the comp wins. It's going to come down to the social game. The jurors are going to really think long and hard about this decision. I think Kelly will reward Morgan just for gameplay. Same with Lauren. Same with Keanu. Game recognizes game. Ava will vote for Ashley because they are girly girls. They have been together for so long in the game. At one point, Ava wanted to put Ashley up on the block for eviction and likely get her out. Vince will be the vote that gives Morgan the win. However, there could be some surprises, especially if Ashley is the one that takes Vince out in this scenario, which Morgan would not cut Vince, but Ashley might. But Vince would still give Morgan the win. But Kelly, Lauren, and Keanu, I think, are going to be the deciding factors in this scenario. So one of their votes can easily go to Ashley. And if that happens, I know a lot of people are going to be mad because Ashley so far has only won one competition. So she would have had to rely heavily on her social game. So, and she didn't have the best relationships with everyone in the house. So I don't know. It is a possibility though. But for now, I'm going to say Morgan wins by a vote of 4-3. Okay, finally we have Ashley versus Vince. Now, the only way I see this happening is if Ashley wins and decides, you know what, Morgan's got more comp wins than Vince. I think I need to nix Morgan. This would give her an easy win because in this case, the jurors will be so bitter to Vince, and they will just give Ashley the win just based on being a bitter jury. The only people I see voting for Vince would be Lauren and Morgan. Everybody else, Rachel, obviously her and Ashley are like this. Will and Ashley are like this, obviously. So those two votes are legit because Rachel and Will have a close relationship with Ashley, so they were going to vote for her regardless. Kelly will be so bitter, not giving Vince a vote. Keanu will not give Vince a vote, and neither will Ava, but also too, Ava and Ashley have that relationship right there. So this scenario can definitely happen. Ashley can win against Vince. Maybe this was the scenario that I was thinking about in scenario 2. This is the one that's going to piss people off if she does decide to cut Morgan. So here are the winning percentages. Morgan is likely going to be the winner of Big Brother. assuming she wins the final head of household, she has a 66.66% chance of winning the game. Ashley has a 33.34% chance. So she still has a chance. Vince, I'm sorry to tell you, you have no shot at winning. You have already burned so much. Your jury management was terrible. And not only that, but you're not owning up to what you did in the game. And a lot of the jurors are going to see that the moves that you did was on Morgan's benefit or on her behalf. So it's going to come down to Vince's final speech if he does make it to final two. We need to see him own up to what he did, and most importantly, we need to hear from Vince what his thought was on making all those moves, how they benefited him, and if they had try to separate himself from Morgan. So, finale night is tomorrow night, and here is the rundown. The final three-part head of household competition will take place. The winner of part one goes immediately to part three on finale night, or live. They're going to do part three live. Remaining two house guests will compete in part two. The winner of part one and part two will face off live in part three. The winner of part three becomes the final HOH and will be guaranteed at least $75,000 with that win. The final HOH will cast the final eviction vote of the season. The evicted house guest will become the final juror and will immediately join the jury as they arrive on stage and begin questioning the final two. The jury will then cast their votes for the winner. Then all 17 house guests are going to reunite and spill secrets that the jury and the final two does not know yet. I'm pretty sure we're going to find out Ashley's true profession, which is a lawyer. She hasn't announced it yet. Some other secrets and stuff. Probably Zach's power is going to be revealed. But the jury votes are going to be revealed, and the winner of Big Brother 27 will be announced. The winner is going to get $750,000. The runner-up is going to get $75,000. Also, you only have just a few hours left to vote for America's Favorite House Guest. Go to cbs.com/bbvote to cast your votes. You have until 9 a.m. Pacific time tomorrow, and the winner of that vote gets $50,000. Okay, well, ladies and gentlemen, the recap show finale is now in plain sight. It's going to be a bittersweet show, but we're going to still have business to take care of. We have to recap the entire season finale. We're going to find out who the jury voted for and who won favorite house guests. Then we go through all 17 house guests. Well, I don't think I did an evaluation for Rachel yet, or I didn't get to do one for Rachel because she popped in after the premiere. So it's mainly going to be the main 16. We will go through their list, and you'll get to hear what I said about them early on in the game, or before the game even started, and then I will tell you what I think of them now. And then we will look back at the best moments of Big Brother 27, and then we will put a ribbon on the whole season and bid farewell to the Big Brother recap show until next summer. That is all going down Friday at 5 p.m. So 5 p.m. Pacific time. So make sure you are there for that. And that is a wrap. Alrighty, guys. Well, thank you for watching. Sorry, my hair is a mess. I look forward to watching the big finale tomorrow night on CBS. It's going to be a nail biter. Any one of those two can sit up in the final two chairs. It's all going to come down to that head of household competition. So, but I thank you so much for watching, and I will see you Friday. Bye.